In the heart of the African desert, where the sun blazes mercilessly and the wind feels like a scorching fire, life struggles to take hold. Grasses wither to a brittle yellow, rivers dwindle to mere trickles, and wild creatures thirst endlessly. Yet amidst this harsh landscape, a colossal giant stands tall, a tree with a trunk as round and massive as a house, its branches reaching skyward like roots reaching for the heavens. This is the Baobab tree, known by many beautiful names throughout Africa. The tree of life, the gentle giant, the source of the village, and sometimes simply our treasure. If you were to ask a farmer in Senegal or an elder in Madagascar why Africans hold the Baobab tree in such high regard, they wouldn't offer a scientific explanation. Instead, they would speak with a voice filled with pride, as if recounting the story of a cherished ancestor. The baobab boasts a lengthy scientific name, Adansonia digitata. While it's not essential to memorize, it's worth knowing, for it represents the very essence of resilience. Its trunk can swell to an astounding 30 meters in circumference, towering tens of meters high, with an average lifespan stretching over 1,000 years. One particular baobab in Zimbabwe is estimated to be more than 2,000 years old. Its most remarkable ability is its capacity to store water. During the most brutal droughts, when other trees wilt and perish, the baobab remains a steadfast presence, its trunk capable of holding tens of thousands of liters of water. Many villages even carve out the trunks to create natural reservoirs or shelters during the rainy season. In some instances, an entire family can find temporary refuge within the hollowed-out interior of a baobab. Some trees even serve as dwellings for village leaders. In Botswana, large, hollow baobab trees have been used as gathering places for villagers, prisons, and even small shops. For the people of Africa, the baobab is more than just a tree. It's a living structure. So, what enables the baobab to thrive where others fail? Reaching ages of up to 2,000 years, it's rightly called the tree of life. What makes it special is its method of drawing and retaining water, a truly vital factor. The baobab's trunk isn't solid like other trees. It's spongy and porous, filled with millions of cells resembling sea sponges. When the rainy season arrives, the roots greedily absorb water, and the trunk swells engorged. A large baobab can store hundreds of thousands of liters of water, enough to sustain itself and the surrounding people and animals for months during the dry season. Some jokingly say that if you were to cut open a baobab tree, you'd find a mini swimming pool in the middle of the desert due to its incredible water storage. The baobab is not only adept at storing water, but also at finding it. Its main root can plunge more than 10 meters into the earth to tap into underground water sources. Horizontal roots extend 4 to 5 times the width of the canopy, forming a vast network that spreads far and wide. At the slightest rainfall, hundreds of tiny roots immediately absorb the moisture and transport it to the trunk. The baobab is like a natural pumping station, capable of replenishing its reserves in just a few hours, allowing it to flourish in regions where months can pass without a single drop of rain. When the dry season arrives, the baobab employs another strategy. It sheds all its leaves to conserve water. Without leaves, there is less evaporation, and the trunk retains moisture more effectively. During this time, the baobab relies on the water stored within its trunk, like a traveler carrying provisions on a long journey. The entire tree shrinks and appears withered, yet its interior remains moist. As the rainy season returns, the trunk swells again, bursting forth with vibrant green leaves. It seems as though the tree has died and been reborn. Beyond its water-storing capabilities, the baobab also nurtures an invisible army beneath the soil, symbiotic bacteria surrounding its roots. These microscopic organisms convert nitrogen from the air into nutrients, enabling the tree to thrive in barren, mineral-poor soils. Thanks to these bacteria, The baobab doesn't require fertilizer or fertile soil to flourish. This is a survival secret few other trees can match. Externally, the baobab's trunk is covered in a thick, fibrous bark with natural waterproofing properties, reducing water loss in the intense sun. The bark can be several centimeters thick, soft, and pliable, like woven fabric. Africans even use baobab bark to make rope, weave cloth, or wrap food. Remarkably, the trunk can expand and contract as it absorbs and releases water, allowing the tree to shrink by up to 30% in volume without dying. The baobab embodies every survival secret bestowed by nature: a trunk for water storage, roots for deep absorption, leaves that fall to conserve water, bark that protects from the sun, and symbiotic bacteria as allies. In the arid world, it's a symbol of life, endurance, and ingenuity. It is often said in Africa that when the gods created the world, they planted the baobab tree first, and they planted it upside down. But the most significant reason the baobab is considered a treasure is because it sustains human life. The dry baobab fruit contains a white, powdery pulp with a slightly sour taste. When ground and mixed with water, milk, or porridge, it becomes a highly nutritious food and beverage. Studies show that a single serving of baobab fruit pulp contains 10 times more vitamin C than an orange, along with abundant calcium, potassium, and antioxidants. In Europe and America, baobab powder has become a popular superfood sold in organic food stores. But for Africans, it has been a staple for thousands of years, helping them survive during droughts. In addition to the fruit, the young leaves of the baobab are also harvested as vegetables. The seeds are pressed for oil or roasted and eaten like peanuts. The bark is used to weave rope, make baskets, and even create rough cloth. A healthy baobab tree can sustain an entire village with food and shelter. Everything is derived from it. In many parts of Africa, there are no town squares or meeting halls, but community gatherings, weddings, and rain ceremonies take place under the baobab's expansive canopy. Beneath its shade, children play, adults discuss matters, and elders share stories. These tales of gods, heroes, and ancestors have been passed down for centuries. The baobab, therefore, becomes the spiritual center of the village. A Ghanaian proverb states, "The wisdom of the village resides under the baobab tree," meaning that those seeking knowledge must go there to listen. In Mali, the baobab is known as the tree of speech because all negotiations, marriages, and trials take place beneath its branches. Even when someone passes away, it is believed that their spirit returns to reside within the baobab, the final resting place of ancestors. Thus, in many African villages, it is forbidden to cut down a baobab tree. The baobab stands there through generations, wars, droughts, colonialism, and liberation, witnessing it all. Therefore, in the hearts of the people, the baobab is not only a source of life, but also a repository of community memories, like the banyan tree at the entrance of Vietnamese villages, or the sacred forests of Japan. The baobab is a symbol of the bond between humanity and nature. Today, many regions of Africa have paved roads, motorcycles, telephones, and internet. But even in this modern world, people still gather beneath the shade of the baobab tree. In Senegal, Kenya, and Madagascar, many schools still hold classes beneath the baobab's canopy. Children sitting at the base of the tree while the teacher writes on a board leaning against its trunk. In South Africa, there's a baobab tree called the Sunland baobab, with a trunk so large that a bar has been built inside, accommodating over 50 people. This tree is estimated to be over 1,700 years old. Recently, scientists have begun to study this species more closely. They've discovered that the baobab is not only unique in its appearance, but also a living carbon sink, absorbing vast quantities of CO2 each year. Because of its soft water-retaining trunk, It stabilizes the local climate, retains moisture in the soil, and provides shelter for hundreds of species of birds, bats, bees, and insects. In other words, the baobab is a mini ecosystem, a giant home for nature in one of the driest regions in the world. It's no wonder that many African nations have recognized the baobab as a national natural treasure, and international organizations call it the Tree of Humanity. However, despite its resilience, the baobab is not immune to climate change. In the past 20 years, many ancient baobab trees, thousands of years old, have collapsed across Africa. Scientists believe the primary cause is the rapid increase in temperature and prolonged droughts. If you ever visit Africa and see a baobab tree, don't just regard it as a scenic backdrop for a photograph. Pause for a moment. Consider how thousands of years ago, countless people sought shelter from the rain beneath its branches. How many children played in its shade? How many stories were told? And how many found life when all seemed lost? The baobab proves that nature is not just the land on which we live, but our companion, nurturer, and an integral part of our spirit. For the people of Africa, losing a baobab is not just losing a tree, but losing memories, faith, and life itself. And for us, it's a lesson that true wealth lies not in gold or silver, but in what helps humanity and nature thrive together. The baobab truly is the treasure of the African people. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this story. If you found it interesting, please subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and share it with others. And now, I bid you farewell.